Hey everyone, Kerry here with Ask Kolat, presented by RUDIS. Got any questions, please leave them at the bottom of the video. Apparently, I got a question. RUDIS had put out a little clip of me wrestling years ago, back when I was young. Definitely more fit than I am today. And there was an ankle lace in the situation, as freestyle, where I stepped over and I kind of crossed the guy's legs, with my leg, and I trapped him in an ankle lace. And the question was that an accident or something I actually worked on? And it was actually a move that I worked on. I started doing that move, probably when I was like 13. I came up with that move. I called the move a stupid name. It was called the grasshopper. And the reason was we had a coach when I was a kid. He coached. He was like the neighboring club, and not neighboring high school. We didn't really have clubs when I was a kid. But we would always get together in the summer and we'd form a club. It was funny. The name of our club was Toss, and it stood for Training Out of Season Sucks. The parents let us come up with a name, and as kids, that's what we came up with. To be funny, we had jackets and stuff. But anyway, we had this guy, and I don't know how he got the nickname. He was called the Grasshopper. But him and I actually had developed that move. We worked on it a little bit, and I don't know. One day I kind of fell into it in practice, and then at that point I realized there was something there. And so then I actually started to develop the move. And the reason it was so effective, I'd used it quite a bit from the time I was like 14, 15, all the way up. And then when you saw that clip, that was at the World Team Trials of one year. And I'd use it in the World Team Trials later on as well. But it was sneaky because the clip, I got it off a takedown. I had trapped the guy's leg. But when I would actually perform my ankle lace, sometimes guys would bring their leg up to their butt, and you'd try to attempt to get a figure four. And what I would do is take pressure off and then allow those guys to bring their feet down to feel like they were out of trouble, not realizing that I had their foot trapped on my hip, and then I was stepping over the bottom leg, and I would trap it behind my knee. And it's a little complicated to learn at first. Once you have it, it gets easier. It took some mechanics. It took some muscle memory to get it there. But no, it wasn't an accident. It actually was a move I used to work. But this is where I come back to freestyle wrestling. And I've always told people that freestyle wrestling is where I developed most of my technique and became more creative. And then I would carry those techniques into folkstyle. I used a lot of different techniques that I would say just primarily were used to confuse my opponent. Like probably my arm throws were most effective in folkstyle because in freestyle, especially when I was a kid, you learn that everybody was careful not to push or the guy can arm throw you. And back when I wrestled, it was a 3-point move. But in folkstyle, nobody cares about pushing, right? Everybody just shoves. And so you don't get any points for the arm throw. But I would always arm throw a guy, get them flying and rolling. And by the time they turn and face me, they're on their hands or knees. And then I was using the arm throw actually to set up my front headlock and spin. I'd create a scramble is what I would do. Same if a guy shot a high crotch. A guy would shoot a high crotch, and I would do the old waist roll, and you get no points for the waist roll, but in the moment of flipping the guy upside down and rolling, I could clear my leg and then spin on the guy. And that's why freestyle was always it was a big love of mine. I mean that's what I really wanted to do was freestyle all the time. But I really loved the creativity of freestyle. I enjoyed the risk taking. I enjoyed it was like all the gloves are off when I started wrestling folk style. It was old school thinking of elbows in and legs are square and heads up. Right? We take all these kids and we cram them in a box, and really in essence what we do is try to take all the creativity out for them and try to get them to wrestle all the same. And then when I got freestyle coaches, all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, you can do this, you can do that." I was like, so all these boxes that coaches were trying to put me in were just removed, and that's why freestyle helped me. I mean, that was the biggest asset to my wrestling career ever. And I hear a lot of coaches, right? I hear a lot of coaches all the time. They always say the same stuff of, I feel like we're moving into this trend of. Or it's been there where it's like, freestyle's not going to help you on the bottom. Well, that's not true. There's a lot of fight going on. But when you just go and you tell somebody, name the best wrestlers that you know, they're going to come through a list of names, and almost everybody on that list has either been an Olympian, a world champion, or an Olympic gold medalist. And so they go through this list, and I'll say, well, you just named everybody that's competed internationally, yet you don't want your guys to do freestyle. And I just kind of find that a little bit asinine sometimes. And it really does. It makes your guys more creative, especially your best guys. Get them out of the box, get them to be creative, let them open up, and you're going to get some fantastic wrestlers when you do things like that. But the ankle lace, no, it was developed, it was worked on, it wasn't an accident. Appreciate the questions. Keep firing, man. I'll see y'all next week.